Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sneak Peek. So I'm David.
And I'm Brian. First of all, a very huge thank you to those that participated in the giveaway last week. The winner of the Air Jordan 1 High Smoke Grey is... we really enjoy your comments, talking about the controversies, talking about the, and then some of the better comments that we picked out will be on the screen. Yeah. Okay, without further ado, let's bring on our guest of today. Let's bring on our guest of today. Hey, who are you?
I'm the guest.
Get out, not you lah. Let's actually bring on the guest of today. Okay, so today we have Dexter Tan joining us. Okay, so Dexter is the co-founder of Soul Superior / Street Superior, which is actually the biggest sneaker convention that is locally grown. Dexter was actually the pioneer lah. This event actually spearheaded the development of streetwear, sneakerhead culture in Singapore. I would just like to ask, what's the difference between Soul Superior and Street Superior?
Basically, Soul Superior is what we started as our baby. It was a smaller convention, more homely, more cozy. But after, I think, a few years, we wanted to make it even bigger. So it was like including different facets like a skate park and music and all that and food. So we needed to get on a partner. We was an events company named 111. And we actually formally renamed or started a new venture called Street Superior.
I see.
So that's actually a signifier for a bigger scale festival, as seen as our first Street Superior at the Pasir Panjang Power Station.
So just for scale, they started in 2013.
Yes.
Alright, so leading up to the introduction of Street Superior, you guys did like what, 5 editions?
Yes, correct.
What inspired you and your co-founder to actually start Soul Superior?
Okay, I mean, like for me and John, we were just your average Joe sneakerhead. We actually coincidentally met while
I read.
Camping for sneakers. Basically, John was one of few people that were actually friendly enough to talk to me during the queue. So we became friends, and after like hanging out for about a year or so during our many drinking sessions, and I would say that Soul Superior was actually like birthed through like alcohol. Yeah, so basically we were thinking like, I mean, everywhere had a sneaker convention. There was SneakerCon in the US, there was like Seoul Mart, there was Crab City in England. Then why didn't Southeast Asia have one? In fact, I think most of Asia didn't have one. So we thought, okay, maybe if we couldn't travel overseas for these sneaker conventions, we will actually find people to do one in Singapore. Not even start it, find people.
But you guys just did it yourselves.
Only out of desperation.
I was so surprised when I think I recently watched your video interview and I saw that
two of them.
Yeah, two of you. I thought like you all had a whole team to organize and start this event.
I wanted to ask you, what were some of the biggest problems that you actually faced, you and your partner faced, throughout the years of organizing Street or Soul Superior?
Okay, I think the first one, the biggest one, I think a lot of people would be wondering about is how much does it cost to do an event?
How much does it cost?
Yes. Extremely expensive, actually. And with the bigger events that we do, the figures are
6 digits?
around there.
6 digits?
Yeah. It's a common misconception because people would think that we make a ton of money from it.
Yeah.
But every year, I think each
Break
of us
even?
maybe like 1 or 2K each only.
Wow.
For like about 8 months of work. The second will be getting brands to believe in the event itself.
I think that gets easier after time with your repertoire, with your, it should be easy. I mean, it should be easier.
Okay, I mean, like, there are certain brands that we worked with for so long that they started like just jumping on. Like,
I see.
Willingly, but there were a few that, because I mean, like in Asia, sneaker companies are still companies.
Yep.
So turnover rate is crazy. So if you do not realize, most of your major brands actually turn over their people like every other year. So every year we get the same struggle of having to pitch the same event to different people, and getting them to believe it's difficult because not all of them are actually sneakerheads. Most of them are actually businessmen or marketing or whatever not.
I would like to know, what if you were able to choose one highlight of your entire journey, what would it be?
I think the biggest highlight for me would be actually being able to hold the event 2 years ago at an abandoned warehouse or power station. That was my dream ever since I was young. Ever since I read like magazines in the past about
SneakerCon?
SneakerCon used to be always in a convention hall, but like Seoul Mart used to be, they always find these cool like run-down factories, they retrofit it. Okay, even though it was a bit like we didn't consider it very well. I mean, like one thing that most people experienced 2 years ago, dirty and the heat. fail to realize that Europe is cold. So these kind of places shook to go in, can wear jacket all that. And then people start pulling out like the Babe Adidas like puffer jacket. Then I was like, oh shit.
Yo, bro, this is Singapore, man. Come on.
Yeah, that was the biggest highlight. And
Awesome.
Honorary mention would be the people I met lah. To be very frank, the biggest takeaway for me personally, other than
Relationships form.
yes, and the people I know,
I see.
like meeting new people even from like overseas and Singapore.
Cool. Last year, we participated with one of the vendors
Yes.
as part of the YBSG contingent.
Shout out
And
YBSG.
Shout out YBSG, yeah. And then we were actually, it was held in Skate.
Yes.
So it was actually a fantastic event. There were so many like high key vendors out there, like limited edition. One thing that I really liked about last year's edition was the inclusion of the vintage flea market. Just what made you decide to include vintage?
I guess at that time it was like inevitable because more people are buying vintage. It was a growing population out there. In fact, now more than ever, I think their community is so tight that it just grows every single year. And so it's near impossible to ignore. I guess
It is.
much that most people may not agree, but they are very much about street culture as well.
It is, yeah. We know the COVID situation has really impacted us a lot.
Yeah.
You know, the whole world, especially for conventions like SneakerCon and Street Superior as well. So, unfortunately, in 2020, we are not able to have one. But what are your plans moving forward for Street and Soul Superior?
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate this year COVID hit, but it also was not a decision made entirely out of choice opportunity, because partially we could have held an event, a smaller one, because especially now they're allowing us to run convention. Pretty sure we could be able to convince them to give us an opportunity. But at this point of time, I think it was not so smart of us to actually make people buy stuff. Especially it should be a time of people saving money and all that.
Except if it's
buying
coming
from Conformity.
Yeah.
but yeah, I didn't want to take away like business from local vendors because they had to dedicate one entire day coming, or 3 days to just come down. So moving forward, definitely if next year, the law permits, we'll definitely have the bigger event.
Interesting fact, you are a teacher.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you juggle your full-time job and all your other fantastic things that you've been doing?
Well, I guess Soul Superior allowed me to play off work stress from work, teaching, and teaching allowed me to play off stress from organizing Soul Superior.
So that means you're just like stressed every single time.
You can say that, but I mean both are things that I enjoy.
Yeah, I see.
And the thing is that I felt that if I did Soul Superior full time, not only will I not be realizing my passion in teaching, but
I see.
also money will come to play.
Yep.
Then fundamentally what we plan Soul and Street Superior to be will change. For example, I would definitely have to charge higher ticket prices.
Yeah, true.
$15, I think I've not changed it from $10 to $15 for like 7 years already. Wow. It's that balance that you need, especially for those who are thinking, and I just spoke to like Brian and David just before this recording, that if you want to organize events, just go for it. You never know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And if not for that one drunken night where we decided let's take money from our bank and open an event.
Open tower.
Yeah, I think this would not have happened then. But I would say to anyone who asks me, I never regretted the decision.
Awesome.
Single one bit. Yeah.
So we'll see you guys at Street Superior, Soul Superior next year,
2021.
2021.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so we've reached the second part of the show, which is the review. And today we're going to review a very special sneaker that all of us have been waiting for. We mentioned it a couple of times in the first episode, and it is none other than the Air Force One. Air Jordan 1 Dark Mocha. These finally dropped in Singapore. I think these were slated to be delayed, but Foot Locker dropped them. David and I actually went to queue early morning, and now
You can see it. Oh yes.
yeah, and now, I mean, you guys heard a lot about what we talked about this in the first episode of our sneak peek. These were super anticipated.
Yes.
I'm sure you hear
I
about this.
waited so long for this.
Do you have a pair?
Yes, I have a pair.
Are we back though?
No. LE member raffle.
So Dexter, tell me, like, what were your first impressions of sneaker when you first picked it up?
Okay, generally for me, anything Jordan 1 black toe would sell. Would definitely be hype beyond means, like your Shadowback boards and all that. For me, this whole mocha colorway is very simple to do.
It It is.
dress. Black tone with something like an earth tone, easy. Like
Yeah.
jeans, black jeans, khakis.
And you can see actually, the back part of the shoe is actually coated in the brown color is in suede again,
Yeah.
which is really very controversial in some way because like the Travis Scott ones, which we have them here as well. I'll just quickly take them out. They were in brown and they were in suede as well. I mean,
Yes.
sorry, nubuck or suede.
Nubuck.
Look at the difference. It's like very minimal, right? And texture-wise,
I would say pretty similar.
okay. So Dexter, just close your eyes a moment and then okay.
Do a quick game.
Quick game. Okay.
Quick game.
Close your eyes and then
Okay.
we're gonna we're gonna randomly. Okay. So now this shoe, feel it.
Okay.
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 This is number 1.
Alright.
And this is number 2. Okay. Which
Okay.
one's the Travis Scott?
Number 1 is the Travis Scott.
Whoa! What?
For sure.
Why? Like, how do you
Okay.
know?
Sneaker sensors.
Funny story about this.
Yeah.
I never owned a pair. The only pair that I ever owned was a fake.
Oh.
So through that experience, I got a refund anyway eventually. But I mean, I've been through enough of these. I
know
went
how it
to
feels.
borrow friends' real ones to touch and all that to know how it feels. And honestly, okay, unpopular opinion, the suede here better than the suede here.
No way.
Serious, you can feel it lah. It's rougher, this one is smoother. I don't know for me.
So
But
what
maybe
would
because
you-
I got this one, that's why I say so.
Yeah.
True. Actually, I want to say something controversial also. Like, I actually
Yeah.
feel like I like this more than that.
Just because it's a bit smoother.
Yes. But,
Okay.
I mean, controversial.
They don't have the pocket lah. You cannot hide your weed there. I mean your money.
Change.
Change.
Bus money.
Yeah. To me, I think this looks a lot like the Panda Twist.
Oh yes, another
Correct.
good shoe.
So it's just all in black, but generally a very, like what Dexter said, a very easy colorway to rock. Okay, so for laces wise, what do you think would go well with the shoe?
I know, I'm team white lace for this one. I don't
White
know.
lace,
Getting
yes.
white
Yeah,
lace.
white
I
lace.
actually, okay, because I laced it up last night. I actually did one black lace and one white lace.
There's a sneakerhead problem
Yes.
every night.
I had to compare, and I have to say the white lace is
Yeah.
100 times better than the black lace.
Do you think that if they release this before the Travis Scott one, do you think that this pair of shoes will gain like as much hype, as much traction?
I mean, for me, I biased. I do like a lot of Jordan ones. I do like a lot of black toe Jordan ones.
Yes.
But the thing is that for this shoe, if it come before the Travis, I think it will still sell. Just not to the value that it is now.
Right. It's also basically driven by a little bit of hype lah. You would agree?
Oh, for sure.
Poor man's Travis Scott.
For me, Travis Scott.
Yeah. Okay lah. Not so poor lah. It sounds so expensive.
Middle income person. Travis Scott.
Yeah. Middle class.
So we reached the third and final segment of the show, which is to talk about the topic of the day. So the topic of today will be to actually talk about in the most recent times, the GR, the general release market has been booming.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure you know
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
The general release market has been booming. Now, general release shoes are supposed to be for the general public. Like I said, Nike pushes out a colorway of, let's say, Air Jordan 1 mid or Air Jordan 1 low. It's supposed to be easy to get for
Just walk into the shop, you can just get it easily and come
yeah.
Yeah.
And back, I think only before COVID, there was no hype. And just a few months later, we see that the prices of these have just, went boom because of the China market, because of demand as well.
Yeah.
And they say that these look like the Dior highs.
Yeah,
and
somewhat.
then these look like the Dior lows as well. So I'm sure this won't have happened in the past, right? What is your thought on it? What about these GRs going crazily, selling out? People are actually like
Reselling them.
reselling them.
The only GR that I remember people reselling last time was the Vans Old School.
Now Vans, no.
Now it's too many, right? Like,
Yeah.
past the whatever Vans put out, whatever stock will be bought up, people will resell. So it's not been a new thing. It's just that now the weirdest stuff gets sold out, which I don't understand. Like no rhyme or reason. Yes, the Chicago. Okay, this one I understand.
Great school pairs, especially for
Yeah,
the females.
but also that's because like ladies now buy
Yeah.
more than
more and more hype based.
because of like
Yeah.
TikTok, Douyin, and all these
Yeah,
kind
for
of
sure. China market is actually one of the biggest one. Another one would be like for Southeast Asian countries, the female sneaker population is increasing like crazy.
Yeah.
Like Singapore, I mean, it's still slow, but if you look at like you go to like Vietnam, you go to like
Philippines,
Thailand,
yeah.
every person is wearing some sort of sneaker, and more often than not, it will be a Jordan 1 low.
Yeah.
Because easy to put on, not so expensive, and even you buy resale, it's like $20-30 over.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore lah. But at that time lah,
Yeah.
I guess the reason why GRs are selling out now is because people see the value of actually buying a proper pair of sneakers.
So, I mean, following the trend you've been in the era where you had to buy sneakers in the past, like, oh, you're considered one of the pioneers in the scene, and right now you're experiencing a change in the younger generation doing these kind of funny things. What do you think is the sneaker culture in Singapore going to be in the next generation or the next decade? What's your prediction? Let's see whether you will look back, 5 years later.
Yeah. Trend-wise, I guess more young people will start buying.
Okay.
The market will become so saturated with consumers that what hype limited release will come out in the next few years will be increasingly hard to get for a normal person.
That was a very interesting episode. We would like to thank Dexter once again.
Thank you so much for having
joining
me.
us. All of the videos of him, his partner, and his brand will be linked below. And also do follow Street Superior's Instagram. You only have one, is it? What's the...
There's a Soul Superior one and a Street Superior
so
one.
which is the main one now?
Both. I use both lah.
Yeah.
Soul Superior is the one I post all my own bullshit.
I see. So go and follow both, and we'll see you in the next Soul Superior / Street Superior in 2021.
Subscribe, please. Subscribe.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Bye.